Hi, this is Christy Everhart from A Heart for Teaching. And today I want to talk to you about some of those great moments in teaching and some of the really humbling ones where you just have to stop and say, I'm sorry. And today I actually had one of those great moments. Um, it has been one of my goals to just make a kid's day every day to help create a positive climate in my school and in the classroom. And one of those easy ways to do that is to just notice things about the kid, to give them a smile. I mean, they've got all these like kid problems that are like so real world, like our real world problems. And I've had kids actually come up to me recently and say, Miss Everhart, I just love how you do this. I love how you like say something nice to me every day. I love your smile. And so I just want to send a quick reminder to you to make a kid's day. Like we ask them to do so many incredible hard things and have this challenging rigor in our classroom every single day. And you have to remember that that's on top of all their life stuff that they've already got going on. So we just want to really just take a moment to show them that, hey, I notice you. Like you're here. I appreciate that you're here because it does make a huge, huge difference. And that was really cool. I had a kid today just give me a hug and say thank you for that, which it's always great to hear that. Thank you. But the real huge focus of today is I want to share this humbling experience because it just made me have to stop and think. And I'm going to tell you straight up before I tell this story, like in my classroom today, this kid was actually in tears. Like, I don't consider myself a teacher who's going to make her kids cry. It was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, and I knew that this was on me, which was like, oh my goodness, like what happened? And so I want to tell you this really humbling story about today, the time I made a kid cry. Um, and just hopefully it serves as a reminder. It definitely did for me. It served as a reminder that we've got to be aware of our kids and we always have to go back to our why. And also, disclaimer, this is not a bad story. It was a great experience for both the kid and I. The kid's great. I was just really shocked and very, very humbled reflecting on it like, wow, I kind of missed the ball on that one. So what happened is, first of all, if you know me, you listen to my other videos, you know I'm a super, super passionate teacher. I absolutely love what I do. I love these kids. Um, I'm doing everything in the world that I can do to scaffold them from the level that they're at to the level where I want them to be. And I do everything in my power to get them there. Now, I've kind of become like this almost, I don't want to say snobby about it, but over the few years where I've really just had an opportunity to be in an environment where I have to differentiate constantly and I have all these low levels. Um, for example, I do have kids in my classroom who read at a kindergarten level, and I have kids in my classroom who are reading very close to an eighth grade level that it's time for them to move out of my class. Like I have a huge challenge differentiating for all these kids. So I like to think that in the last few years I've become an expert at that. Here's my cautionary tale. So when you're a teacher, you spend all this time thinking of all the amazing ways you can do it, and you get really, really good at your craft. You have spent time looking at every single test item they could possibly be asked. You know the ways that the kids could mess up. You know the questions that the kids can do, even if it's above their challenging level. And you learn all these little tips and tricks that, of course, you're going to share with your kids because you want what's best for them. You want to see them succeed. And I, like every single teacher, have come up with all these great strategies that, of course, I'm giving with my kids because it's like, hey, if this works for me, then absolutely, I'm going to share it with you. I'm not going to hide all my secrets of the teaching thing. Like, hello. So I have been pouring into my kids all these wonderful tips and tricks to help make them a better reader, to help increase those reading levels. And lo and behold, I'm having these conferences with my kiddos today about, hey, we're about to take this test to see what your reading level's at again, like, and here's where we're at, and here's where we want to get. And I'm having this conference with one of these students that at the beginning of the year, man, she was a rock star. She scored really high, one of my highest students. She had this amazing score. And then as I was looking at the data, her most recent data, what the trend has been is she's actually been performing less and less and less and less. Now, as a teacher, it can also be so easy sometimes to just be like, well, the kid didn't try, and to put it all on the kid. But it's not on the kid. It's just not. Like it's you. It's you as a teacher. What's going on and what happened? And I just had to eat my words today with that because when I started talking with this kid, really, really talking with her, like, hey, what's going on? At the beginning, we were really, really awesome. And like now I'm seeing that we're kind of going down, like, what's up? And this scared little kid, like, bless her heart, terrified to sit here and talk to me. But she started to talk to me and she's like, well, you told me to do it this way. And I don't think it's working for me to do it this way. I used to do it this way. And that's when I got the score. Yeah. I was like, wow. And I started to have this conversation with the kid. And I said, I kind of get the vibe that you're trying really hard to just do everything the way I tell you to do it. Is am I feeling you right? This is what's going on? And she looked at me and she's like, yes. And this is the kid that I know that we all have, that teacher pleaser kid, the one who wants to do amazing. And of course, I'm the teacher, so I must know everything, right? You know that we're that way for these kids. They think that we know everything. And so this kid truly, truly believed that I was like the expert on everything. And I'm an expert at a lot, but I don't know everything. And anyway, this kid was trying to just do everything the way that I said, because if I'm her teacher, then I have to be telling her the right way to do it. Right. And that was her mindset. And so I told her, I said, I get that. And thank you. I love that you're trying the way that I'm asking you to do things. But, and here's the part that we have to remember, every single kid is not the same. Like, I am not the same as really any other adults in this campus that I work at. I am like the weird teacher. I have my anime poster behind me. Like, I have my own little way that I do things and it works for me. But it doesn't work for any other teacher. And that's okay. And I got to have this conversation with her, and I was like, you know what? There's a whole bunch of different ways that we can do this. And I said, the way that I do it obviously is not working for you. What if we try doing it the way that you're used to doing it? And that's when the tears started to flow down her face, because she'd never heard a teacher say that it's okay to do something different. She'd never heard a teacher say, you know what? I'm sorry. I was wrong. This huge, huge moment of connection with this kid. And you know what? I really think that when my kid goes back and she takes the test next week, we're going to have a higher score because I'm letting her do it her way. And that's the part that I was crushed as a teacher, because I was like, you know what? Man, if you're just trying to do it my way and you think that's the only way and it's not working, then I am no better than my old teachers that I said never took the time to learn how I learned, to teach me how I learned. And that was very, very humbling, because I do not want to be the teacher that I had all those years ago. Like, I hated that experience. And I don't want my kids to look back and be like, yeah, I had Miss Everhart and she did nothing for me. I really, truly, truly, truly want to be the teacher who changed their life, who showed them that they could do these things. And today, I realized that I've had a whole semester with this kid that I haven't been that. And that was very humbling. So, my final encouragement to you after sharing this story with you is watch your kids. The data says a lot. And if you find the data isn't saying what you want it to say, instead of taking that and putting it on the kid, have a conversation with them. Pretty much every subject there is in education, guys, we can do this in so many different ways. And the kids need to own it because they know how they learn. And we need to listen to them and take that time. And then, if our way isn't working for them, we need to have the guts to say, I'm sorry, let's try it your way. And then watch what happens with the learning. Thank you for letting me share. This is Christy Everhart with A Heart for Teaching.